Welcome to ATN Society Watch today. This is a program where we ventilate societal issues, give them aggregate attention with a view to propose solutions that will benefit humanity. Today on Society Watch, we'll be discussing on a number of issues. First, on the warning strike, police nab NLC officials monitoring exercise in Imo State. And still on the warning strike, NLC commends affiliates for successful industrial action. And from Unilag, management condemns protests, says Unilag fees are not highest. And from Nasarawa State, DSS nabs SEMA officials, traders for diverting palliatives. And lastly, on the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, Kaduna State can calls on Nigerians to accept the judgment. These are the issues we'll be looking at today, and we'll be having with us today a lecturer with Captain Elichi Amadi Polytechnic and a social commentator. I'll introduce them to you shortly after this break.
people into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
human trafficker.
Honorable They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds. I am in the
joining us. This is Society Watch at Atlantic Television Network, and we have with us a lecturer with Captain Elichi Amadi Polytechnic and a social commentator, Dr. Umweke Emmanuel Onyeka. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. All right, let's get our first issue on the warning strike. 3 executive members of the Imo State chapter of the Nigerian Labour Congress have been reportedly arrested by the operatives of the Imo State Police Command. The NSA officials were detained on Wednesday at the Imo State Secretariat while checking on how state employees were complying with the 2-day nationwide warning strike. James Chukwudi, a member of the State NLC Caretaker Committee and the State Designated Secretary of the Amalgamated Union of Public Cooperation, accused Raymond Ucheoma, the Imo State Head of Service, of ordering their arrest after spotting them at the Secretariat's entrance. He named himself the State Secretary Nduka Anyokwojio and the stateswoman leader, Mrs. Margaret Ogbujo, as the arrested NLC executive members. Monitoring the compliance of the labor union remains is customary, and that is what we did. We were arrested when a squad of police officers in a Hilos pulled up next to us at the Imo State Secretariat gate. They drove us to the New Owerri police station. Later, we discovered that the head of service had arrested us by calling the police to the Secretariat. But everyone is aware that the NLC is conducting a 2-day nationwide warning strike, and part of our duty is to keep an eye on participants' compliance. Judge Ofoegbu, the Imo State NLC chairman, has contacted the police commissioner. We anticipate being freed soon. However, the Imo State head of service, Raymond Ucheoma, said those detained went beyond the scope of simple monitoring, accusing them of breaking into the Secretariat, robbing 2 officers, and demanding money from gullible civil officials. The imposters passing themselves off as NLC officials, he continued. They broke into the Secretariat and stole various expensive items, including cash. The employees of 2 offices were harassed and blackmailed into giving over money. Because it was a criminal act, the Imo State Police stormed the Secretariat after a tip-off. Now, this is a very funny one because, I mean, first of all, like the NLC's personnel said, it is a known fact that the NLC went on a nationwide 2-day warning strike. And maybe as part of their own routine, they had to send some executive members to go on monitoring to ascertain the level of compliance, especially at high-brow areas of the NLC, like the Secretariat. And on that journey of monitoring to see the level of compliance, they were being arrested and accused of being involved in criminal activities, making do with very expensive items from the Secretariat, harassing some workers, and even getting tip-off from these workers. What's your take on this, Dr. Emmanuel?
It's very entertaining, very interesting. You know, some of these guys, when they get into these positions, they join the drama team, Nigerian leadership drama team. How can you not cry more than the bereaved? If you say they stole some items, where are the victims should come and cry for themselves for crying out loud. Like you said, they stole, they broke. Who are these officials now? Have they come out to say, I lost 5,000, I lost this item was stolen from me, and this woman here you arrested is the person? Or this man you arrested here is the person? So I want to call on the NLC Imo State to picate the Office of Head of Service. They should. They are also civil servants. There are no politician civil servant there. They should picate his office and make sure that he has a little bite of his rascality. He has not behaved well as a public civil servant that has grown through the ranks. He has, in fact, he deserves some level of sanction from civil service. From a labor union in what do you call it, in Imo State. He has not done well. We also expect that the NLC chairman or whoever that is in charge should so pressure until the man apologizes to the people. They should also press that those he has detained should be compensated for causing them discomfort. You know, because it's just a routine. They are not hurting anybody. All these ones are purported statement subject to investigation, which I'm not sure any good thing will come out of it, because he shouldn't be the one crying. He would have just started by saying that some staff reported to me.
He's the head of
service, that's what I'm saying. He's at the HLM now. He didn't say items were stolen from him. He mentioned his staff now. So we are saying that he should have said that so and so staff came to report to me. Do you understand what I mean? And upon getting the report, we had to call police. And these were the persons who met at the scene. He didn't say so now. He said he got the hint.
If you even look at it, now, they caught, it's more like arresting them in the act, because they were right at the very point where they accused them of breaking into the secretariat and stealing those items and getting financial tip-offs from some of the staff within the premises. One would expect that we would get to see some of those items that they stole with them.
You understand? That is one thing. You also see those people crying now. And you know the Igbo culture. If you steal, they are very prone to this, what do you call it, extrajudicial conduct. So they should at least start shouting now. There should have been a mob attempt, or even the civil servants would have started shouted. I'm saying that this man, they should do something to show him that he has not done well. In fact, they should call for his resignation by this singular conduct. They should call for this man to resign, or whoever he is. You understand? You see, the way they take power or responsibilities in Nigeria is very strange. Once somebody is in any seat of responsibility, they now see it as an opportunity to intimidate others, an opportunity to be as rowdy, to all manner of misdemeanor, right? So this is what happened in almost all the states. People go ensuring compliance. And what is Labour asking? Is it not affecting his civil servant, his subordinate? What are they asking? Labour is asking for a commonsensical thing. Do you understand? That we are even asking that since the Nigerian leadership have lost this bearing of thinking, they should not even thank Labour. Do you understand? Thank you. We are just, whatever we are doing, we forgot that we are supposed to do this. Thank you for reminding us. So does it call for their punishment?
But let's also look at it that the police have arrested these NLC officials. Does it mean that they are being punished, or that this is an avenue to open up investigation into the allegations against them?
Against the thieves? Police will tell us now if they are new thieves or they have been thieves before that time. They have been kleptomaniacs. At the point that this one they had the opportunity to begin to steal again, or that was their first attempt. Or they have criminal records. What's the pedigree? If these people are NLC officials in the state and you are saying that they went to steal, you are not indicting them. You are desecrating NLC in the state, the entire workforce. That is the way I look at it. How could they have people of questionable character, be put in the hands of affair of a labor union in Imo State?
Well, let's hope that the police is going to carry out its investigations, and we all need details of this, so we know actually who is speaking the truth. Did the NLC officials actually go just for monitoring? Did they break into the secretariat as alleged? Did they steal any item as alleged? Did they extort money from workers as alleged? The onus is on the police to do their investigations and let the public know what the true situation of things is. Well, let's look straight at our next issue, still on the warning strike. The Nigerian Labour Congress has described the participation of its affiliate unions in the just concluded 2 days warning strike as a show of undaunted and resilient commitment to defend Nigerian workers and citizens against man-made economic hardship. A press statement signed by its President, Comrade Joe Ajero, reads, "We write to extend our heartfelt gratitude to all our dedicated affiliates, state councils, and esteemed members for their unwavering support and active participation in the recent 2-day nationwide warning strike. As we mark the end of the 2-day nationwide warning strike yesterday, at a stroke of midnight, we earnestly call upon you all to gracefully conclude the strike and return to work tomorrow, being today, in accordance with our initial agreement. We would like to take this moment to express our profound appreciation for your unwavering determination and dedication, which played a pivotal role in the resounding success of this action. Your contributions during this warning strike exemplify your unwavering commitment to our cause. In the event that the government fails to provide the appropriate responses to our demands, we encourage you to maintain your steadfast resolve. The same passion and determination that fueled this warning strike will be crucial if we find ourselves compelled to embark on an indefinite nationwide strike. Congress is not unmindful of the actions of detractors and fifth columnists, but in the face of them all, we remain undaunted and more committed to the defense of Nigerian workers and people at any given time. Our nation deserves better. You know, I had a conversation with a couple of people at different instances, and everyone seemed to feel like, well, the NLC cannot embark on a strike. The NLC cannot do this. The NLC cannot do that. They are going to have a negotiation with the government, and whatever comes out, they might just leave it at that, and then the people will continue to suffer. But the NLC has, according to them, successfully embarked on this two-day nationwide warning strike. They are saying thank you to all the affiliates. But before we say that, what is your assessment of the NLC two-day warning strike?
I've always said, our problem right now is not the strike. NLC is responding to a strange way of running affairs of a country. But another thing is, when you look at the posture of these individuals you are striking to get their attention, are they bothered? That is another question. Because, like banks, only very few banks opened for 2 days. The real people will only put up a call to the bank manager, and the bank manager will send the money to their households and say, thank you, sir. And if you continue to do this for 1 month, that is how they will do it. They will just call managers of superstores to bring items for them, and they will willingly do so. So, why I'm saying this, if it's a normal, conscious leadership, you know, we will see a situation where they'll be pricked that people are suffering, and they'll begin to respond and call labor. I don't see them, because when you see a group of human beings that say they are leaders coming in a table, men and women, and saying that they want to share 5 billion to states, that shows you the level of, I don't want to use the word that is around my lips. That's to show you the type of leadership we have. Do you understand what I mean? These men should be, I don't know. Beyond NLC protests, this shouldn't be an NLC issue. It should be a general Nigerian thing. All Nigerians should be in the street. Block the assets, those, government has, please all sit down there and block. It's not an NLC matter, because these persons have shown to be incompetent. I was happy when this man stopped, the president now. You know, I was thinking the man would perform. But he has shown to be, I don't know. He has traded the part of apology. And that is not acceptable.
He has said, give us more time and everything.
No. Let's forget about that small time. Which small time? When you say small time, it means that you started building something. But the man has started on the note of West. And it's unfortunate. How could he preside over a meeting and give out monies to be shared? Look at the River State own. They say they are going local government by local government to share rice, to share. Oh, God. Oh, my father.
How best were you expecting them to go about that?
I don't understand.
Everything begins from the local government, the communities.
We're not talking about, okay, let them share from Abuja. Don't bother where they share. We're looking at the philosophy of sharing.
Okay.
Like, you go now, let's say that you are going to collect 1 bag of rice. And how long will a bag of rice last for a family? I'm sure they're giving up to one bag or 5 bags, right? One household.
No, I have no idea.
So maybe they're even giving 10 bags. So how long after these 10 bags are you shy? It's a whole lot of a sorry case. We're looking at people that have gone to school and done elementary economics and management, and they are coming openly And they even go beyond, they call policemen and they are saying these kind of things. It's shameful now.
Right
it's
now,
ridiculous.
are you optimistic that with these demonstrations by NLC, there might be something positive?
But, okay, they said they will call NLC to, but they will still bring the issue of, they will bring more things to share. That's my fear. I see, okay, if 5 billion is not enough here, let's make it 7 billion to these states to share. It's unfortunate. It's
but you see, we look at things from different perspectives. There are people who are very comfortable with...
They don't have a perspective. Don't count their own as a perspective.
I mean, they have their opinion and they have said...
No, that is not an opinion.
The government is going to give us these palliatives to cushion the effects.
No, let's stop calling these things palliatives now. Let's give it the right words. Waste. National waste of resources now. Because we are looking at, if you say 5 billion, I was just discussing with my wife this morning. I said, look, Esther, if this 5 billion they are bringing now, it's okay. We are going to do mass transport system. From, you now bring like, what do you call it? 200 buses, vehicles, with its attendant employment. You say for each local government, we are going to give you 15 buses. Metropolitan local governments, Eleme, Port Harcourt, what do you call it, Obiapo, right? And just the other ones that are somewhat metropolitan, we are going to give you more. Ah, God. Do you know how much that will bring to us? Do you know how many persons that will lift from unemployment? And then you say...
Let's also look at... Let's not be as if, as Nigerians, we are always trying to water down the efforts of the government. During the COVID, we know that some Western countries that we really look up to when it comes to leadership and a whole lot of other things...
But did you hear what I just said
give
about
out,
these 5 billion?
These palliatives to citizens, whether or not they were... nationals of those countries. They gave out something. In fact, I know of a couple of Nigerians who have lived in the States, but for some reason were in Nigeria at the time. They received theirs as people who were living in the States.
Did you receive? Were you are
I have never been to the States, so...
No, but they shared in Nigeria too now. Did you receive? You are not the only one to be asking. Let me ask you today now. Now, it's your turn to answer question, Anita. Did you receive the COVID-19 thing? So why are we now comparing a well-structured countries with Nigeria now? We're not talking about normal situation. You are just saying that even your friend that wasn't there then received. So you shouldn't compare. So what we are saying is that they are in a journey of misnomer. Do you understand? And we're only appealing that if the church people, a man should be praying for God to repair their mindset. Because how can you say that a father of a nation, leaders of state and local government will come and say, my people, come, oh, the thing has come. Queue like this, take this one, take this one. Is it like that is what they will be doing on a daily basis? We are looking at a situation, 5 billion, not 5 million, not 500 million. We're looking at a chunk of money that will turn around the states. I'm not just talking about River State, any other state for that matter that have given this 5 billion. You share the money. I'm sure the people that will even benefit are those people that they are men, they are sycophants, those guys that are everywhere for them. They will receive it, go and use it to take, what do you call these things they take, and get ready for them the next time. Like is one thing that can never be fixed. That is my worry. What is actually going on? That is my query. So what NLC is doing, it shouldn't be their own fight. It is also sit down and be asking these questions. What is happening to us? Okay, do you know if you invest this 5 billion now, this 5 billion will not just pay these people, right? It's not just to create employment, create huge assets for the state, but to be paying these guys. You have a monitoring system, digital monitoring system. We are looking at a state, even from this money, you can make as much as 10 million naira at least in the first 2 months, accruers to your IGR post. Are you get what I'm saying? So you now call people and then you dash out this money like this. Okay, can you now look at another tranche? Okay, let's support. If it's tomato farm, if it is this particular thing, a massive production, and get a supply chain from it. Instead of you just call people every month and you say you want to share palliative. Palliative is also subsidy. So why are they wasting the money? That is what we are saying. If there is any place that is called where you can go and you take people to court and you go and sleep that you can get justice, I'm not.
Well, it's a good thing, like NLC has said, this has been successful, and we look forward to the outcome of this decision that NLC has embarked on, the outcome of this 2 days warning strike. We hope that the government is going to be in the positive response. Well, let's look at our next issue. But before we do that, we'll go on a very short break. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Society watching Atlantic Television Network. Akoka Lagos has said its fee is not the highest among federal universities in the country. A top principal officer who does not want his name mentioned said it is a calculated attempt, and from our records, over 75% of our students have paid. Those boys are opportunists, our students are on holidays, so there wasn't any protest. They are just using UNILAG to gain clout, and we don't have the highest fee, and we are not the only ones charging fees. He emphasized that UNILAG students were on holiday and were not in any way around the school premises or at the gate to join any protest. Some protesters arrested on Wednesday who are protesting fee hike at the University of Lagos have regained their freedom from the state's Criminal Investigation Department, Panty unit of the State Police Command. The students were picked up by the police at Unilag Junction, where they had gathered to protest. They were heard chanting, "Fees must fall now." The students dispersed after police fired tear gas at them. Speaking while confirming their release, one of the student leaders at Deyeye said, 9 of us were arrested, 8 students and a plumber. The Congress of Students resolved to convene in 48 hours if nothing progressive is heard. The Unilag management in July 2023 increased fees from 19,000 naira to 190,250 naira for students studying medicine, while for courses that require laboratory and studio, the students were to pay 140,250 naira. The management cited prevailing economic realities as reasons. Yeah, no doubt we are going through terrible economic times, and of course, maybe it's just one of those phases in lives that we all have to go through. But let's look at this issue. The students felt, well, they gave the university, we want you to do this, reduce the school fees. This is too high. I mean, from 19,000 naira to 190,000 something. That was really, really outrageous. And so the students spoke to the management, but nothing positive came out of it. They issued a threat to embark on a protest, which they actualized yesterday. And while on that protest yesterday, we gathered that some policemen who were deployed to disperse the students fired tear gas and ended up arresting about 9 of them. But the management of the school is saying right now, well, we condemn in its entirety that protest by those people whom they described as not to be students of Unilag because their students were on holidays and not part of that protest. Again, the university is saying, well, we are not the only university who have increased school fees. We are not even those who have the highest fees. Well, no doubt, we are not going to say that is wrong because we know most schools, even private universities, have very high fees. But to the extent where you're going from 19,000 naira to 190,250 naira, what is your take on that? With respect to the protest saying that, I mean, why are you protesting? We are not the ones with the highest fees in the country.
My approach is entirely different. Now, look at the first place. I want to commend the public relations unit of Unilag. They have approached this matter very intelligently. It shows that they know their onion. They've done so well in protecting the image of the school so far. Secondly, I want to say that running a school is not cheap. It's very expensive. Counting the grants that what do you call these people that are ruling Nigeria? Removed subsidy, and this is where we are right now. But my own approach is our tertiary institutions are not doing well. Development, I'm not talking, even growth. Let's talk about growth. Growth is different from development. Growth should start from tertiary institutions, universities. Because one reason why these monies have to increase is that you have to supply the students power, energy, and you buy diesel. You have to provide those in the hostel, you buy tissue, other sanitary items, expectedly. Then the medical center, everything is peaked. You get what I'm saying? So they might have their own...
sorry to interrupt you. I haven't heard of any hostels in the universities where the school provides them with tissue.
Oh, tissue. Pardon me, I didn't use one in my days anyway. But what I'm trying to say is that in all of this, even maintenance costs, as a result of whatever is happening in the economy, cost of items have peaked. But my own worry is that these are tertiary institutions are so laggy. You cannot hear of a particular university in Nigeria that has its own independent power system. You've not thought of it. We generate our power system from so and so hydro body. We generate from solar. This is what we are doing. Are you getting my point? Like even the grass cutting machines are produced here in this university or polytechnic. Are you getting what I'm saying? We don't hear such things. Now, they run pharmacy departments, pharmaceutical department. I think my friend that is a lecturer, there was one other thing he calls it, the ones that produce drugs. Do you understand? We can't hear any university in Nigeria in partnership with so and so that is producing these particular drugs or medicine. Do you understand? So our one is where we have joined the leadership, the Nigerian leadership, to where it is simple. It's simpler to increase the fees. They can't look at other measures of solving these problems. For example, if you have a biogenerated energy system, do you understand? If you are an advocate of energy mix, not just one source of energy, then you have got this option. Students, instead of us to increase the fees in this direction, this is what we will now do. Even the community will now begin to have extended benefits. They will benefit from these innovations. But we don't see such things in Nigerian tertiary institutions. Now, have you talked about the transport system? Have you heard of the automobile department of mechanical engineering or welding and fabrication? They have been able to construct a bus. I get what I'm saying? And then they are doing everything to fix engines. And this is what you can do.
Now, we have all of these loopholes in the systems. And then my worry now is, do students even have a right to protest? Do students have the right to say, well, we are not comfortable with these policies of the institutions, and so we are going to come out? Because if we keep having students arrested every time they go out to protest, what message exactly are we sending out?
There is something the man said, whoever that responded, he said they are on holidays. I don't know the legal implication of, holiday has implication. If you say the students are on holidays, it will be difficult for us to begin to now judge their right to protest and being on holiday. To my mind, I would say probably the leadership of the students within the holiday period can be negotiating with management. Pending when Congress will return from holiday, they can now have an enlarged house meeting. That's my thinking. Not that I know whether in holiday or not in holiday, you are still a student of University of Lagos. But you are not on campus at the moment, and the school wouldn't want to address them for fear of overstretched control. If the students are in holidays, you can ask, okay, if the thing is becoming too much, you now say, we want to ask everybody to leave the hostel, to leave this. But in a situation where you begin to entertain protesters when students are on holidays, you wouldn't know the stretch of it. I don't know if you're appreciating my point.
Invariably, you're saying, well, the school and the police did the right thing by chasing them out with tear gas and arresting the ones that were arrested.
Because in the eye of the rules of the university, students are on holidays. They have not returned to campus. Lectures have not commenced.
This threat to embark on this process
it doesn't seem that they were properly...
while school was still in session.
While school was still in session.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that the legal unit of the student union government should readdress this matter on so that they have a stronger point. That they are on holidays, you get what I'm saying, and then also embarking on protests. Because you are away, you are not on campus. You don't even know the new policies, if it has been reviewed. I don't know, that's my thinking.
But let's just hope that the SUG and the school management would have a better way of resolving this. As far as school fees not being the highest in the state, well, I don't know. I just hope they will look at it and be considerate enough to other Nigerians. Let's get our next issue from Nasarawa State. The Department of State Services has arrested some officials of the Nasarawa State Emergency Management Agency and their accomplices for allegedly diverting palliatives meant for vulnerable citizens. The suspects were accused of selling the palliatives in the modern market in Lafayette, among others. A statement on Tuesday by the DSS spokesperson Peter Afunaya stated that the service had recovered some of the items after an investigation into the matter. Afunaya noted that similar operations were ongoing in other states of the Federation. The statement reads, the Department of State Services has received reports from some state governments relating to diversion or sale of palliatives meant for their citizens. Consequently, the service undertook investigations in that regard and has recovered some of the items as well as apprehended the suspects. While this operation is ongoing in other states, the service has, for instance, intercepted a suspected criminal syndicate in Nasarawa State responsible for the diversion and sale of the palliatives meant for the vulnerable in the place. Among those suspects are officials of Nasarawa State Emergency Management Agency and their accomplices in the markets, notably modern market Lafayette, where the items were being sold. The suspects have, however, been handed over for appropriate disciplinary measures. You know, I don't want to say that maybe anything goes, because this is not anything goes. This is you getting caught in the act. And I am so pleased with this, because we've had people complain. We've seen over social media where people post pictures of what they receive of palliatives, and some others question why the palliatives are not even palliative enough for the vulnerable. Why is it so? I mean, these things have been released by the government. We keep blaming the government for virtually everything, but these are the people whom are in authority, who are responsible for distributing these palliatives to Nigerians, and they have decided. I mean, come to think of it, we're talking about SEMA. SEMA is the body that is responsible for doing this. And here we have the same body.
You just said something that people keep blaming government for everything.
Yeah.
DSS arrested government now. Members of emergency, is it not government? So what we are saying is that they should extend the arrest to those who initiated the palliative team. Who are those people that sat down and said that we are giving you people what they are calling palliative? They should also be arrested, apart from those of them that are enjoying immunity. Every other person there should be arrested.
Suffering, and as much as I do not have so much solution at the moment, let me give you something to hold on to while we await a major solution. Is that a bad idea?
Yes, it is. Like you have seen, it has started showing to be a bad idea. Because you are reeling out what is not acceptable. If you just give the people 4 cups of rice, how long is it going to? It's just an appetizer. We're looking at making the people have a livelihood. Live like human beings, like you, the sharer, the distributor. To live like near you, to have jobs to do, to have things to do. And this money will be enough to do this. That's what I'm saying. In these clusters that they are sharing it, so businesses can be established, collaborations can be done, companies can be established. With this money, transport systems can be done. All these people that are calling vulnerable can be employed into these agencies, and they start buying as much rice as possible for themselves. So it is not arresting these people. Whoever initiated this idea of wasting our money should also be arrested.
So
this is West.
You are saying
yes.
There is nothing wrong with what these SEMA officials in Nasarawa State have done.
I don't know which one is wrong. What I'm saying is that both SEMA, the people that sent them, the people arresting them, all of them are wrong. The people, the SEMA people now, are you with me? The people that gave this thing to SEMA people, the people arresting SEMA, all of them are what? Wrong. Who initiated it in this place should be arrested.
Right? So if they are all wrong, who is going to be right?
What is to be right is that to bring this money and use it for what is useful for the country. This one is not useful. It's waste of our resources. And they're also extending West by the West management time of DSS to do very much more important. They're now deploying to all the states. You have most critical issues to address. They should arrest the people that brought the idea of this sharing, wasting our money, the SEMA people, all of them. Even they arrest those that arrested, the DSS people that arrested these people should also be rearrested. They say all of them that are constituting this West in Nigeria, they should all be punished.
It is very unfortunate that every opportunity people try to use it to oppress the poor. Like our president would say, let the poor breathe. You have the responsibility. Let them breathe. Don't suffocate them. But this is a much we'll take on this program. Thank you so much.
They are suffocating us.
They are suffocating the poor already.
They are suffocating us.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks.
And thank you, our viewers out there. Please let the poor breathe. Don't suffocate them. I am Anita Obari. If you missed anything, you can follow us on our social media platforms: Twitter at Atlantic TV Net, Facebook and YouTube at Atlantic Network, Instagram and TikTok at Atlantic TV Network 1. Do remember that peace and unity are the batteries to progress.